Yo, gang, welcome back. Episode something. Can't remember. But we here. We doing the thing. Episode 9. I'm getting a big 9 in the background, so I think this is episode 9. So exciting, dude. Almost double digits. We're really growing up quickly over here. But today, diving into some stuff, man, some stuff that's going to be, gym related for the most part. Going to kick it off with something that's been on my mind and radar lately because I have had the absolute displeasure of going to the gym at more like peak hours. I've been so busy during my days that I'm like hitting 5 and 6 o'clock and working from the morning and just being like, I still got to go work out. And I'm like, sweet, I get to go work out at 5 and 6 o'clock, which, as you know, generally entails the highest gym population. Usually I train at like 12 or 1 because there's not many people there and it's beautiful. And it's me time. It's me time. I get to go in there. It's just relax. I can shoot some content and stuff and feel very comfortable, and not be in anybody's way or just feel awkward. But I've been going during very busy times. So the topic of today is going to be worst gym trends. And now some of them you've probably heard, and some of them are a little bit more personal to me. First off, the first gym trend that I've noticed so much lately, and I can't believe that it still exists, is curling in the squat rack. The amount of times that I've seen over the last 2 and 3 weeks of guys getting in the squat rack and either pulling the barbell down and setting it on the safeties and curling the barbell, or recently saw a guy just walk over to with some dumbbells to a squat rack and just utilizing the entire squat rack and doing dumbbell curls. Let me explain why you shouldn't curl in the squat rack. One, it's in the name, squat rack. Look, dude, if you're using the squat rack for like some form of compound, you're doing, like some rack pulls or stiff legs or RDLs or something that's not a squat. It's okay. It's okay. You're doing a compound there. You're loading up weight on the bar and you're doing a compound. But squat rack is in the name. You're there to squat. And I get it. Not a lot of people want to do legs. Not a lot of people want to squat. Squats are hard. A lot of people like to do curls. Curls are easy. I want big arms, right? Go do them somewhere else. Do them anywhere else. Do them literally anywhere else. Get in the middle of the gym. Stand in the middle of the walkway for all I care. Get right in the middle of the gym, and at least people can navigate around you. But if you're taking up an entire squat rack to do curls, brain dead, all right? Brain ceases to function. I mean, it's like, doing curls in the squat rack is, it's like walking into a restaurant by yourself and bringing your food and be like, nah, I'm just gonna go sit at a table and eat my food. Hey, man, you paying customer? No. Give me a water. And sitting in a booth by yourself and eating your pre-prepared meal. You're in the way. You're in the way. And there's people that want to squat. And it just breaks my heart that this still happens. And I'm telling you, I've seen it almost every time I've been in the gym. And what's crazy too is I've seen it at peak hours. Like, it's wild. It's wild. That one goes, and it barely needs to be said. Like, don't squat in the don't curl in the squat rack. All right, just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not even. I say it's a trend because it's not even really a trend. It's just bad. It's just bad etiquette. It's bad. Um, it's bad for your soul. Squats are good for the soul. Good for the soul. Curls, whatever, man. To be honest, I hate doing curls. I do curls. I want big arms too, but I do them where they need to be done, next to the dumbbells, on the cables. Go do curls where you're supposed to do curls. What are you thinking? That one's pretty straightforward. Not necessarily a trend. Now, here, number two is more of a trend that I'm seeing lately that I don't like. I get it. Everyone wants to be an influencer nowadays. Whatever. Yeah, I get it, dude. I get it and I don't because it's only so cool. And unless you have like the ability to actually become one, uh, you know, it's the guy, okay, the way that I've described it is picture bros. All right. You have barely broken a sweat and you're taking a million photos. Yet again, let me remind you, this is peak gym hours, okay? This is not like empty gym, right? And you're there for and let's be honest too, you're not there for a photo shoot. No one's shooting you. No one, no one is reaching out and being like, "Hey man, let's do a photo shoot." You're in there with your homeboy. You pop the top, and about 76 pictures later, you've hit three different poses. And you're like, hey man, you get this angle? Hey man, can you get this angle? Hey man, do this. Hey man, I want this. Dude, just work it. Just work out. Just work. If you've taken more pictures than you've done sets during peak gym hours, I mean, that's a bad look. Um, I think about like, how a person like that would survive in prison. Wouldn't. Wouldn't. You'd be holding somebody's pocket, without a doubt. You can't just don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. One of the worst that I saw, one of the worst offenses I've seen lately is peak gym hours and like in front of equipment. And here's the thing, not equipment I was using. If it's equipment I'm using, I'd be like, "Hey brother, can you take those elsewhere?" I'm trying to work out. Now, it's one thing if you're trying to capture some quality content and you go about it in like a way that you should, You do your workout. You complete your workout. You want to finish off by filming some good content. Good. Don't get in people's way. There are guys that I shoot with sometimes that we film some stuff. I'll have my girlfriend film for me sometimes, and we do it in a very polite way. It's in an isolated way where it's just during a working set or it's not going to be getting in anyone's way. And if we are filming something that's a little bit more than that, it's a little bit more photo shoot esque, then if people are like, some people will like be polite and they'll see you shooting and they'll like pause to walk through. But it's always like, hey man, just go ahead. It's fine. It's a public gym. We're not trying to, you know, disrupt anybody else's work. That's the last thing we're trying to do. We're just trying to film some quality content, and we do so in a polite way. But if you are in front of equipment, you are just generally being kind of a nuisance to the people around you. eh, Relax, man. You can take photos anytime, but there's 10, 15 minutes in the gym right there that you could have gotten through two or three different working sets of whatever you're doing. Also, shoot to not do that at peak gym hours. Shoot to do that else at other times. Take a day on whenever it's more chill and then go film. But it just gives me the biggest diva vibes. You're not training hard, man. You're taking a bunch of photos. And if you have a physique that people are interested in, you're probably going to have people reaching out, offering to shoot you, or you'll probably get some some more general interest outside of the very small following that you do have. I think it's just really it's kind of disrupting. It's a little annoying. It's like, man, you're hitting front double biceps and I'm getting whiffs of your BO. Like, chill out, dude. There's no the whole just it's too much. It's too much. And now I'm very supportive of people doing their content, but you gotta do it in a polite way. You gotta do it in a polite way. It's unnecessary to be there's just some that like you can tell are just like screaming for attention. And That's fine. I'm sure you'll get it somewhere. But maybe whenever, like, and I try to be polite in a way too of being like, I don't want to film a bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna like, I don't want to like strip down and start posing when there's a lot of women around too, because I feel like it's just kind of rude. I don't know. I don't want to be that guy. First of all, I don't love the eyeballs on me. Some people, might love the eyeballs on them. That's one thing. I get that, but be polite, man. There's probably some people you're making feel a little uncomfortable, and consider who's around. Be considerate in general. Picture bros, man, really bad trend lately. Not everybody can be a bodybuilder or an influencer. Maybe just work on getting in shape and and nailing the physique part down first. I remember there was so long that I was like trying to invest in doing gym content, and I was just thinking, I was like, what am I doing, man? I don't even have like a physique that's worth posting, worth like showing off in some way. And then recently, over the last year or so, I feel like I've kind of gotten there. I've gotten closer to achieving that. And I'm like, you know what? It's probably a good time to invest in doing content. And it's paid back. It's been nice. But yeah, man, I don't know, just get big first. It's kind of cringe. It's very cringe. Oh man, this one's really bad, and I don't know where this came from. I have no idea where this came from. Y'all gotta tell me if you've seen this before too, or if you've seen this a lot. I've seen this a lot lately. It's so weird. Sunglasses in the gym, like dudes walking around with the what are they called, the snake bites? They got those the king cobras on their face. Them snake glasses. What are they called? You know what I'm talking about? The big '80s goggles. They look like snowboarding goggles almost. Um, they got them. They got them. Yeah, they got them cobra bites on their face, and they're in the gym, dude. You're working out indoors. You're working out indoors. I seen a dude walking around with Ray Bans on the other day. I'm like, you just get your eyes dilated. And I thought maybe, hey man, maybe he just came from the optometrist. But then I saw the same guy multiple times later, walk around with sunglasses on. Hey, you can do whatever the hell you want. I'm just saying, dude, it's not a great look. It's kind of odd. I mean, if you're working out outside and it's blindingly bright, yeah, throw your shades on, man. But practicality um, seems impractical, and I don't know why. Is it a look? You know, I don't know. Maybe these people are extremely socially uncomfortable and it makes them feel more like secluded. But the truth is, man, if you're wearing sunglasses, more people are going to look at you than they won't. So maybe leave the snake shades in the truck and uh, and call it good. Yeah, sunglasses in the gym. Odd trend, a strange one that I've been seeing lately. Let's not do that. Let's not wear sunglasses inside. Okay. I find myself doing it on accident. Sometimes I'll walk into the grocery store and I've been wearing my glasses, but I do have a pair of sunglasses that are like quite transparent, and sometimes I just forget to take them off. I'm not trying to be a douchebag, but usually about halfway through I realize I have them on my face, take them off. Uh, you know, Sunglasses inside, just a weird trend, weird thing to do. Are you high as balls? Do you smoke a lot of weed, and that's why? Maybe that's it. In that case, get eye drops. I don't know, strange. Uh, the other one that's so, and this is abundantly common. I know everyone's seen this. One is kind of a two-piecer. One's the stringers, and now I don't see them as often now because it's very like '80s. But I see it on the wrong day. I see like these, I'll see like huge bodybuilders, like an actual like legit bodybuilder who's got like oversized shirt on, hoodie, sweatpants, whatever. And then I'll see like, I don't know, little Christopher's, he's 18, maybe just started training. Got a stringer on, dog. Like, a tank top's one thing, but a stringer? Stringers we're going to leave exclusively for 55 plus year old men on TRT or absolutely disgustingly huge mass monsters. Just 240 plus lean giant human beings. let's leave the stringers for them. The second piece of this is the incredibly tiny shorts. All right. And for me, I like my shorts about mid thigh, maybe a hair below, but going above that, mad uncomfortable. I ain't gonna lie. This one's gonna hurt some feelings. I understand. Everyone's been wearing them lately. For what reason? I don't particularly know. The one caveat is if you've got huge legs, okay. All right. It's the same thing as like the guys that um wear the tights in the gym, like only tights. I see that very little now. Very little that I see guys wearing tights only in the gym. But if you're wearing tights only in the gym, you better have absolutely just like redwood tree trunks, right? They got to be huge. And then same for these little tiny itty bitty shorts. You need some huge legs, but it's not who I see wearing it, you know? It's little Christopher again. Got the little tiny shorts on, 3-inch inseam, and just now getting trickles of hair popping out in the legs. Let's let's leave those for folks that are absolutely massive in the low body, or just don't wear them. For me, it's not really my thing. If you got huge legs and you decide to wear them, I respect that. I respect that. I'll wear shorts sometimes. It's rare though. I usually sweatpants and sweatshirt. If it get really hot, show off the pump a little bit, pop the top, tank top. I'll rock out like that. But usually, I like getting my sweats on. I like being hot. I like training whenever I'm hot. A lot of times I'll wrap my knees too, so I don't like wearing shorts whenever I'm doing legs because it's really uncomfortable wrapping your knees without some sort of coverage. If you wrap your knees, you already know you'll get that mad knee ditch rash. Mm-mm. Not comfortable. Itchy, itchy, itchy. But yeah, man, little tiny shorts, stringers. Come on, man. Leave the 80s in the 80s. You can look good in the gym. You can look nice in the gym. You want to get fitted up? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. There is something to be said though for like if your fit looks better than the quality, the quality of the fit's better than the quality of the set that you're doing, might have something backwards there too. Okay. Maybe just go to Goodwill, get you some sweats, get you some beaters. All right. Beaters will make you huge because you'll realize you don't care how you look and you care how you train. Then you train hard and you get huge. It's pretty sick. And then you want to get fitted up for the gym. All right. Might look a little bit better that way. But just man, also the whole gym fashion thing, who really cares, dude? Who really cares? Get in there, train. Just train. It's a similar thing with like the ladies fashion, man. It's a whole like, man, there's so many it's hurt a lot of feelings, but it is what it is. Like just like the matching sets and like the what are they called? The elastic ass shorts. What are they? But they've got a little seam in the ass, so they actually insert inside the cheeks. I'm like, okay. I mean, do what you want, but that's a little bit of an odd choice. It's like choosing a perma wedgie, I guess. But if you want it, yet again, do whatever you'd like. I'm just saying, hey man, it's kind of weird luck. Kind of a weird luck. Yo, number 5, worst gym trends. And this is, yet again, isolated to a particular group, but grunting and screaming when you're just not lifting a lot of weight, Like, I get, if you've seen me train or heard me train, sorry, uh, I, man, I consider myself strong, not, not like, not crazy. I'd like to get crazy strong, but like if I'm doing stiff legs RDLs with like 405, deadlifting 500, benching over three plates, or squatting in the high 400s, stuff like this, dude. It's hard once you get those latter pieces of the set to not let it out a little bit, it's a lot of strain, so you kind of just naturally let out some guttural vocals, you know. But if you're sitting there with like 225 on the bar and you're just, ooh, 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 ooh. don't, don't do that. Don't do that. It's not a good look, and especially with something like I know 225 is kind of like a capstone for a lot of guys. Like you want to hit 225 on the bench. That's the thing, and that's exciting whenever you do. But just consider that's like, while there's a lot of people, and most people in the world probably can't bench 225. If you're around in the gym population it's fairly entry level in a way, and that if you look at like the NFL draft combine, it's 225 for reps. How many reps can you do with 225? I think the record's like in the 40s. I know that's like elite. Um, but dude, it's just not all that much weight. So maybe don't scream while you're doing it. Also, another one I'm noticing is like getting on the row machine or the pull down machine and just uh uh every rep, man. Dude, it's like 160, It's I respect training hard, but like that's not true. I've seen women that lift more than that and stay dead silent. I know some like female bodybuilders that lift a lot more than that, and they're just like you can barely hear them breathing. It seems effortless. And if you're like a 35-year-old dude, come on, man. It's hard to watch and listen to. No one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear that. But now, if you're lifting some extremely heavy weight and you let it out a little bit, hey man, like everyone understands. But then if you do it and you're just not lifting all that much weight, you kind of look like a dork. Maybe avoid doing that. Do your best to avoid doing that. Just breathe. It'll work the same. So, respect to effort. Just chill out. Yeah, man. So those are by far my top 5 worst gym trends that I've been seeing lately, considering I've been going during peak hours. I think I've become so unaware of most of them because I don't go during peak hours. But since I've been going, I'm like, wow, it's not great out here. Social media is ruining people. Riding the wave, but the wrong wave. Be yourself, man. Dang. The sheep mentality is, it infects so many facets of life that stuff that shouldn't be normalized becomes normalized. Like, what just happened to the originality? It's like you see one person do one thing, and it's like that's pretty cool, and all of a sudden you see little clones popping up, just like little reiterations of this like one thing that seemed original at first. Now everyone's doing it. I didn't even mention the pajama pants. I think I've talked about that on here before. Stop wearing pajama pants to the, to the gym. Why are you doing that? Wear normal pants. Again, none of this stuff is like you're not bothering anybody by wearing pajama pants. It just don't. It's just weird. You woke up on Christmas morning and you pull up to the gym. Like it's so strange. That one's just weird. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say about this. Don't wear pajama pants. Wear sweatpants. Or if you don't have anything but pajama pants, that's one thing. I respect you getting in the gym. But in this case, like, it's usually a kid with the dangly cross earring and then has the pajama pants on. So if you have a dangly cross earring, you probably have more than just pajama pants, is my guess. And probably a perm too. But it's very popular now. It's like mullet perms, like the dangly earrings, and pajama pants. It's just interesting. It's like people just like want to scoop up old bad trends from the '80s and hop back on those. I'm like, hey man, I knew you last year. Your hair wasn't curly. What happened? Oh, weird. Interesting. I mean, the mullets too, man. There's a lot of mullets out there. And you know what? For a long time, I respected mullets because mullets were not cool at all. I was like, all right, y'all rocking mullets? Dude, no one likes a mullet, and that's sick. And they were like bad mullets too, the real short, choppy in the front, straight up, just straight in the back. But as soon as like I don't know if just like one baseball player did it like one time and was just like hitting just dingers, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, I need a mullet. Now it's like 60% of the population's got a mullet. So they're not, it's not cool anymore. It was cool whenever no one was doing it. But I don't know. Trendy everything. Everything's so trendy now. It wants to be like graphic tees, little tiny shorts, mullet, or pajama pants. I don't know. It's just odd. It's just weird. Maybe I'm an old head, bro. Maybe I'm just getting old, and I'm like, oh, these kids. But like, if you see the way I dress, I don't dress like normal. I definitely have my own thing, but like, I don't look bad. I don't think, but I'm not doing like I don't know. I'm not wave riding the whole. You're not gonna catch me in pajama pants. I've got earrings, but you're not gonna see something dangling, tickling my neck all workout. I don't even, dude. I so don't follow trends that I don't even have hair. Everyone's getting mullets. I was like, fuck it, we ball, no hair. Fuck it, we bald. You know, just do hair delete, control alt delete all of my head hair. That's how much I don't follow trends. Okay, grow a mustache, dude. That's what I'll do. I'm gonna take all my hair and put it above my lip and keep my eyebrows, and that's it. All right, I'm 5 o'clock shadow, dude. That's what I got. Y'all wearing mullets, dude? Get out of here, bro. Start wearing a mustache. I started wearing a mustache, and all the mustaches started popping up. I'm not saying that I started mustache, but why is everyone wearing a mustache too now? People wear mustaches that don't even have mustaches. Craziest thing I ever seen. Dudes have 7 hairs on their top lip, and they're like, shave the rest. Let those ones go. Dude, it's crazy. It's wild out here, man. It's a jungle. I don't know what we're doing. Freaking me out though. I'll tell you what. You know what? Everyone's got all that head hair. I put it on my chest like a man. All right. I've got a straight up. I've got an '80s shag rug on my chest. What's that? The next trend? I'm just gonna start cutting V's out of the top of all my shirt and just seeing if everyone starts doing it as soon as they start getting a couple of like little prickles of hair. Just their 8 hairs sprouting out the top. I've got so much chest hair it grows up my neck. I have to shave my chest from my neck. I want to know who does that. Who's got it like that, dog? My hair grows down my neck, and can I have my beard goes from my face to my nipples. Yeah, and you have a mullet. Think about that. Maybe shave all of your hair off and start growing your beard from your face to your nipples like a man. I've got belly hair too, dude. I'm going to tell you right now. Bro's got hair everywhere except for his head. That's how much I hate writing trends. But yeah, man, those are the worst trends. Those are the worst fitness trends that I've been seeing lately. They're no good, no bueno. Me no likey, but hey, it's okay. If you like it, hey, and here's the thing: if you're hearing this and you're rocking any of those trends and you like it, keep doing it. You know, but I'm gonna make fun of you. Just be ready for that. Especially if you're one of my friends, I'm gonna make fun of you. But you know that already. I probably already make fun of you for it. Make fun of me, dude. I don't care. I don't care. Make fun of me all you want. Go crazy. But I'm gonna stay on your ass too. So, yeah, man, those are the worst gym trends I see lately. Simple as that. I did take some topics of conversation rather than like traditional Q&A. Just snagged some topics. Any questions that I haven't answered from previous Q&As? If I post another one, ask me again if I haven't got to them because they probably got lost at this point. But I do want to try to answer all the questions. But usually in the like first half of these podcasts, I'm kind of have a topic and it's hard to fit the rest in. But let's go ahead and dive into some of the topics today. First off, great one. The reply was just cooking. Period. Cooking. Period. So I'm gonna dive into cooking and all what it applies in my how it applies in my life. In bodybuilding specifically, cooking means I just bake sheets of chicken. Sometimes I cook some bison or beef on the stove. I cook a lot of rice. I keep kimchi on deck. I've got, if you know, if you see my story, I've got a bucket of kimchi. Okay, I've got like 40 pounds of kimchi. That's a little extensive, but it was a big bucket, probably 10, 15 pound bucket of kimchi that I got at H Mart, and it was delicious and it's still hanging on. That's a lot. That's usually my veggie choice because a lot of probiotics. You get your fiber from your veggies. I mean, come on, man. It is like your complete. It's everything that you need from your vegetables, especially having something fermented. Just great for gut health. So that's like my go-to. Olive oil stays on deck, and I put all my oils in after cooking. But here's something you might not know about me: is I love to cook. I love to cook good meals. I like to cook homemade gourmet style meals. I love grilling a good steak. I like making burgers. I like making, oh man, any Asian inspired dish right up my alley, man. I love making Asian food of any type. My girlfriend for my birthday bought me a wok in the shirt, in this chain, actually. So uh yeah, go Spurs, go. And she bought me a wok, which was really cool. If you don't know what a wok is, it is a big, um, I think it's made of iron, something like that. But it's this big, like cooking bowl almost. It's like this big metal bowl that's got a, carpet, carbon. It's made of carbon. Carbon steel. It's made of carbon steel. It gets very, very, very hot. It's got a handle. It's got like a little hook type of handle on the end, and it's got like a traditional handle, like a wood handle, like you would have on a pan. And the idea is you get it extremely hot. You get it super, super, super hot, and whatever you're cooking, you keep it moving the whole time. So wok cooking is very labor intensive because the woks are big too, but it's so hot that you keep everything moving the whole time, so it's constantly getting the seared effect, and you just really get a lot of awesome like seared charred type of flavor off of it. So I love traditional Asian cooking. My mother is an amazing cook, my grandmother is an amazing cook, my great grandmother's amazing cooks. All of the women in my family are amazing cooks. My grandfather was a really good cook. He's more of like your kind of traditional meat and potatoes type of guy. He loved doing ribs. He loved being out there at the smoker and grilling and stuff like that. But he also made a mean breakfast. My dad, not much of a cook. My dad could burn cereal. He struggles in the kitchen. But I definitely inherited the cooking stuff from my mom. My sister's a very good cook too. She's married to a chef. I mean, cooking runs deep in my family. We love to cook. Um, I started cooking very early, man. I started cooking probably when I was like 12, 13. I just remember like watching my mom cook a lot and some of the stuff that she put up, like, pardon me, some of the meals my mom used to cook were just like mind-blowingly good. And I know everyone's like, "Oh, my mom's food this and my mom's food that, or my grandma or this, whatever." Dude, my mom, I had other people coming to my house all the time, and it was like, oh, I thought my mom made blank really good. My mom she used to make homemade pizzas that were just insane. She had a chili recipe, has a chili recipe that she'd make. And I had some friends come over and were like, hey, is your mom making chili? Hey, can she make chili? It was that good. Everything she ever made, like, I just can't remember my mom making anything bad. I remember, the cheap meals growing up when we're trying to save a few bucks. And my mom would make beans and rice, red beans and rice, dog, and she would get so much flavor in just red beans and rice. That's all it was, but it was so good. Still, it was so good. My mom rarely made anything poorly ever. I can't even remember stuff that my mom made that I don't really like. It was all good. Also very healthy, health conscious woman. She's got very like pretty nutritious recipes for the most part. That also, she always big with cooking with whole foods and stuff. So She was just a great cook, man, and I was grateful for that. And that was always a big guide for me of, how I wanted to cook. And like my mom was big on cooking for other people, and it's that same thing just makes me really happy whenever I cook for other people and people clean their plates. Like I remember for my birthday, I had my girlfriend over, her sister, my best friend, and we were all just hanging out. And I just wanted to cook for everybody. I wanted to cook. Just it's very satisfying. So I used my wok. I got in there with my wok, and I walked to my first dish. Um, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Made some crab stir fry. Uh, tasty, tasty. Yeah, man. I like to cook for people. Made wings for we had a fight night. All the boys came over and made wings for everybody. They were pretty solid too. Baked wings. I don't really try not to fry stuff. I don't even have a fryer because I don't really fry anything ever, especially bodybuilding. You don't really fry anything. But I can make some baked wings. Now they're a pain in the ass to make because you got to cook them really high in the oven. You got to take them out, constantly baste them, turn them, baste them, turn them, baste them, turn them. And you cook them for like almost an hour, but every 10 minutes you're taking them out. So a little labor intensive, but well worth it. I use like 2 bottles of hot sauce. Really good stuff though. Yeah, so that's kind of like my basis in cooking. Otherwise, right now I just cook a bunch of chicken. I cook a bunch of rice. That's pretty much it. Rice hack, man. The best rice in the world is Botan basmati rice. Botan. Botan basmati rice, dude. It is delicious. And like I eat so much rice that it's like I need good rice, and that rice absolutely slaps. Botan basmati. If you don't know what you're doing, you do now. Uh, this one was a little bit more like personal and a curious one for sure. I kind of worded it a little bit differently than it was asked, but because this is like kind of what I got from it. Well, it's like, why do people? I assume he means kind of like in the fitness industry itself. Why do people focus more so on presenting a persona or their physical appearance more so than they do exposing their personality or what they're about, who they are? I think there's two big reasons for that. One, Instagram models. Like, there's girls, guys that show some very intimate parts of their body. I mean, let's be honest, dude. It's like softcore porn pretty much. And sex sells, man. People just like click, 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 and gas up these Instagram models. And hey, man, they make a bunch of money off of it. So, I mean, it's like selling your body, and there's a lot of money to be made there. So, I think a lot of people think they can do that, and I don't think they really have it like that. You know, um, no offense to anybody trying, but uh, I posted something not too long ago, and maybe this has been pretty long ago, but it's something that I always said to like my friends and stuff. But hey, man, if you follow Instagram models, you're a dork. Okay, all right, because one, they're all Dr. Miami'd up for the most part, all right? Bot bodies, which is already kind of cringe. I really appreciate genuine people who are themselves, and that's where a lot of this comes from. Is like it's just kind of like the porn industry, just people selling their bodies. So, and there's money to be made there, obviously. Um, I I've been I've been solicited before quite a few times to do. Well, here's an interesting story. Um, I don't know if you know this one. I don't know if I've told you this one. Interesting story though. I was like 18. I got offered a porn job, which was really interesting, strange, no doubt. But this guy was a recruiter, and he said that it's like, we'll fly you out to LA. You get $10,000 in cash. You're gonna do one shoot. If we like you, we'll do the same thing. And at 18, I probably had like $300. I was like, $10,000 sounds very nice, but it was an immediate no from me. Like, I just don't. I don't know. I don't ever want to be known as the porn guy. Like, come on, man. Like, ugh, that's not a good look. I don't know. For me, I've got a lot of self-respect, and I'd rather, people like look at me and be like, "Oh, well, he made all his money starting in porn," you know? That's not really me, dog. I'm trying to get it my way, and I knew what my path was gonna be. So, yeah, I'd rather go a little bit more long grind and make it happen. But it's also a lot more in the long run, like me growing my company now is going to be a lot more financially stable. But I've had the solicits on Instagram quite a few times to sell, this or that. And come on, man, like that. Yeah, it's not pretty. None of that's pretty. Like it's pretty. It's a gross practice. But I think that's where a lot of it starts. Is people think that they can and should sell their bodies for quick change, whatever it might be. And while I mean bodybuilding probably isn't too far off of that, it's more so for me. It is a um, therapeutic art in a way that you get to sculpt something and build something with your body. But if you notice in all of my check-in photos that I don't have pants on, it's like I'll censor what needs to be censored. I don't, and to be honest, there's traction to be made there. There is like it's sad but and kind of gross to say, but it's true that if I post this stuff uncensored, it could probably get a lot more traction. It it just is what it is. And I've had people give me advice within this fitness world to post those things uncensored so I can get more traction. And I'm like, hey man, that just is not me. If I'm like in bodybuilding, I'm here to like it's a physique specifically. I don't over sexualizing what I do. One makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to become that for anybody. And um over sexualizing other people in general is just it's you don't have a lot of respect maybe enough for yourself to give other people that too. So I'm not a that's not how I it's just not how I roll, man. That's how a lot of people roll though, because there's some money to be made there. Like I said, quick cash, not my thing, dog. Not if it's in a dirty way, in a gross way, some way that kind of crosses over some of my ethical boundaries. Some people, it's okay with them. So I'm not going to shame anybody for that, but it is also just not my route. Nor am I going to really give that my support because like the latter half of this question. Why don't people expose their personality more, who they are more? Because I think people are scared, man. People that are that way in general, that maybe want to just go the quick route, maybe don't have a whole lot more to offer. Uh, and maybe they do, but maybe they're nervous about exposing that. This is hard for me. This is not easy. Starting this podcast in general was not easy because I like my private life to be private, and I like my space. I don't like people knowing too much about me. It's uncomfortable for me. I've always been a person. It's uncomfortable for me being vulnerable in general, even with people close to me. So me being vulnerable with everyone and putting it on the internet, you know what I mean? Like it's hard. So I think it's probably a lot harder than a lot of people make it out to be. Oh, why don't you show your personality more? Why don't you show who you are more? It's scary, dude. It's scary because then everyone knows. You open yourself up for judgment. And, that is what it is. That is what it is, man. At one, Fortunately, I'm at a point in my life where I'm very secure in who I am. So if you don't like me, it's okay. And if you do, then that's great. And I hope people do because I want to grow this platform and I want to be able to, give some people some words that might help them in some sort of way or give them some information that might help them, give them some knowledge that might help them. I'd like to be able to give back a little bit too. So if you do like it, then that's awesome. And I get some really cool responses to the podcast and stuff thus far. So I just hope that we keep growing it. But yeah, man, I think people focus more on the physical because I think they think that's what's going to sell and make them money somehow, but they put their self-respect at the end of the line in order to do so. And that's some people don't view it that way. I understand that, and if you don't, then that's okay. But yeah, just to me, the whole sex industry in general is just corny, dog. Like, you don't have a lot more to offer than just your body. I don't know, man. Maybe try to pick up a hobby or get like become because it's not talent. You don't have any talent to show your body. And it's not anything special. Everyone's got one. It's just become like very taboo to share. And yeah, I think that's why people do it. They think it's going to get them some sort of quick fame or something like that. It's just not how it works. People are scared to expose their personalities. They're scared to show who they are because because it's scary. Just because it's scary, man. It makes anybody nervous. It'll make anybody clam up. Some people it's easier to do that for. But, for me, it's not even particularly easy. But I'm very much myself on camera. I'm very much myself with my family and with my friends. And I think anybody that watches us know how I speak here is it's the same way I am in person. I'm probably a little bit less revealing, but if you know me and you're one of my friends and like we hang out and stuff, this is how I am. There's no real difference. So yeah, I think people do it, don't show their personality, don't show it because they're nervous. They're scared too. They're scared of the judgment. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to put that out there. And outside of that, it might just because it might not have much to offer either. It's maybe they just I don't know. There's not a lot more going on in the brain. There's a lot more going on outside of that. And if that's the case, then I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot there's a lot of that, but yeah, man, that's my 2 cents at least. Last one that I thought was going to be interesting to answer. Maybe will be touchy. We'll see. But what's the what's the strongest ethnicity that you've lifted with? And now, to be fair, I've been working out for probably 8 years, 9 years or so. I started in like athletics and working out for football. So I worked out with a lot of black people. Did not work out with a lot of white people, and I also did work out with a lot of white people. Um, but the guy that asked this, I know why you asked this because he is Samoan, and I've worked out with a lot of Samoans too. Funny enough, I had a good buddy of mine played football at West Georgia, and he was a big boy. He was a center on the offensive line, and he was a big boy. He was strong, dude. And now I can't lie, dude. Like, one, I've worked out with a lot of strong white dudes. I've worked out with strong black dudes. I've worked out with strong Samoans. I'm trying to think of other ethnicities that I worked. I worked out with Hispanic people. I've worked out with, I think that kind of encapsulates most of the ethnicity in general that I've trained with. I would say, and now I did personal train in person for a long time too, so I got to see a lot of demographics. Pound for pound, I'd say some of the strongest people that I've trained with, I would say a lot of the black men that I've trained with in general have some stronger genetics than a lot of people I've worked out with. Um, just because I've had some clients before that were like, they might have older gentlemen, I say older, middle age or so, that just have like a kind of normal build. But like we get in front of some weight and it's like no problem, dog. I remember one of my one of my clients and one of my favorite people I've ever trained, Mr. Eric. Eric is awesome. Anytime I see him in the gym, he's one of the few guys that I will stop what I'm doing and go talk to for just a minute because he's a great dude. Um, Very smart guy, and also he's got like this naturally kind of cockstrong build. Dude looked like he just worked on farms his whole life, and I remember him being like, yeah, man, like he's like I ain't all that. Like my brother's like really he's jacked up, I'm like, and I was looking at him, I was like, you're kind of jacked up yourself, bro. But I remember like we're going to deadlift max the first time, and I was like, and he pulled like 315, and he hadn't worked out in forever, he pulls 3 plates. He was like, all right. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, dude. Like you just pulled 3 plates, you don't even really train. uh, Now, that being said, I haven't worked out with a lot of Samoans, but Samoan guys that I have worked out with are stupid strong. And the guy that asked this is really strong. So I know that's a reason why he asked. But dude, these guys are just built different, man. Like just built to be strong for real. Just thick human beings, just wide human beings. Like naturally, like maybe not some of the most aesthetic people that you'll meet because they're just straight up big, big dudes. Just I think it's like bone mass thing, man. Just able to push weight. And yeah, man, in high school and in college, knowing some Samoan guys I've worked out with, it would be hard because I've worked out with so few Samoan guys, but the guys that I have were really stupid strong. So I would say between black guys and Samoan guys in general, that's probably like the strongest demographic I worked out with. And now I say pound for pound, dude, some moms. I ain't gonna cap. Like just some moms, minus the ethnicity completely. There's something about like there's this primal instinct that comes in with mothers and like physical strength, and maybe it's like a protective thing where I remember just like working out with some of them and like I started really light and they're like that was easy. I was like okay, so we go up a little bit more. Like, that's easy. I'm like okay. We go up a little bit more and like that's easy. And then I see them do some weight that they think is heavy and they're like start struggling with it. I was like watch, you can do it. Just don't even think about it. And then all of a sudden they're throwing the weight up. I'm like it's a little freaky. Moms are strong, dude. Moms are strong. As long as there's no like physical limitations there, there's some very strong mothers out there, pound for pound, especially within the women demographic. The like middle-aged mom, dude, that's not like physically broken down in any sort of way, super strong. I'd say mainly like I don't know. I've worked out with some strong whites before too. There's some strong whites, but they're I would say I've worked out with probably a lot more strong black men than I have with strong white men, to be honest. Just is what it is. I think it's just a genetic thing. I don't know. It's hard to say though. It's hard to say. I would say black guys, Samoan dudes are probably the strongest demographics that I've been around. But I mean, there's some straight up cockstrong white boys too, man. Like my best friend, he was always really strong growing up. There's some really very strong white boys too. But I think just genetically, some white genetics don't support the strength nearly as much. To be honest, I haven't worked out with a ton of like super strong Hispanic guys. I don't know if that's just the demographic I've been around. I'm sure there's plenty of very strong Hispanic dudes, but um, I think most of the guys I work out with at this point are white, I think for the most part. But the guys I work out with are really strong. So it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. I would say in my experience, probably black and Samoan, strongest ethnic groups. So debate it, don't debate it, agree with it, whatever you want to say. That's my 2 cents. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's it, dude. Thanks for listening. Back at it again next week. I'll have a guest on next week. It's gonna be a fun one. It'll be nice. So I won't reveal it until it comes. But thank you for watching. Enjoy whatever day you're watching this on, but it'll be releasing on Thursday, so enjoy your Thursday. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Please, guys, I do put a lot of effort into these videos. My setup costs a little penny. The effort of getting everything set up, getting everything edited, taking the time to do it. A like goes a long way. Share it, and get this thing out there, dog. We're trying to grow. We're trying to grow. So yeah, a like will just go a long way. Drop it on there for me. Feel free to say what's up. Give me a review. Drop in the comments what you think the strongest ethnicity is that, or what. Even if you haven't trained with a lot of ethnic groups, what's the strongest that you think? Take a guess. And if you got some bad gym trends that I missed out on, drop them in the comments, and I'm happy to comment on those next time around because I'll have a fun guest on next time around, and we're gonna get goofy and silly. So, thank you again for watching. We'll be back next week, gang.